to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 welcome to speak. Who you with, Curtdog? Who you with, Curtdog? Man, it's Thursday night. First of all, let me welcome everyone to the show. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm is in the house as well. I know what time it is. Tonight we're gonna chill. We're gonna take us a chill. Hold on, let me get this right. We're gonna take us a chill pill tonight with Curtdog and Miss Risky up in the house tonight. So hope y'all have your cocktail and ready to get this thing started. Cause my home girl is in the house. Miss Risky. What's going on, Miss Risky?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that kind of intro ever again. That was the creepiest mess I've ever heard in my life.
I seen that look on your face. I'm like, oh Lord, she gonna let me have it as soon as I come home.
You
Say
take that
what?
right back. Don't ever again.
Yeah, I don't understand why you treat me so bad. Never mind. Never mind.
Trying to
Never
keep the
mind.
creep level, right here. You went up here.
Well, you say you don't want somebody going through your Instagram and stuff, liking every one of your pictures at 15.
Listen, as long as they keep it online, that's fine. They can like every picture. Let me get all the followers and start capitalizing on some things.
Exactly. So how was your Thanksgiving?
I guess it was fine. The Jello shots I made, a little too strong, but they worked. They were popular.
Well,
Hmm.
you have any more left?
Of course not, dude. Come on.
Oh, they must wasn't strong enough then. If you don't have none left.
Well, I mean, I only made so many, and there's so many people. One
No.
each was gone by the time everybody got it.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my sweet
Don't ever
potato
talk about my Jello
bites.
shots. How
Well,
dare
so
you?
they drunk one and they was over there leaning up against the wall, talking about, "Ooh, that's hot."
Listen, when you feel it and smell it before it hits your lips, it's good stuff.
Somebody gave my wife some moonshine, some sour apple. I'm like, I'm not
That ain't
drinking
real
that.
moonshine. Hmm.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not drinking that. I don't know them like that. Um, so I'm like, oh, I don't know. So somebody, maybe if you want, we might give that moonshine away over the for one of the grab bags or something. I don't know. Nah, I'm just playing. We're not giving away alcohol. But so other than the Jello shots, anything interesting happen on Thanksgiving?
Yeah. It's just another day.
It's just a day off, huh?
Pretty much gearing up
Oh, okay.
for have to go in office all this week. I don't like going in office the whole week. I'm spoiled. like working from home.
See, that's what happened when you work at home and chill, do your own thing.
Yep.
Um, I also, I knew it was coming.
Hey, Marcella,
When I seen somebody pop in from
just pop
YouTube,
right in.
I already knew what's going on. Marcella Smith is in the house, straight out of the boot, Louisiana. Said, "Hey y'all, hello, Miss Whiskey." And that's what I assume he sound like. Hello, Miss Whiskey.
I hope not.
Well, he probably did it like this. Hold
No,
on.
no.
Hello, Miss Risky, darling. All aboard is in the house. What's going on? All aboard out of Miami. Miami is in the house. Thank y'all for always tuning in, being a part of the show. Um, Tonight we're gonna hit on a couple of stories. Uh, Marcella's talking about that's exactly how I said it. See, right,
Like security,
my
security.
my allergies are messed up. I can't get that berry white going. So
You never could hit that, so don't even play. Don't even play. Has nothing to do with your
show you
sinuses, sir.
right. Hold on. Show you right. He said
Yeah,
I can't get it like I want to.
yeah, and you
Show
never
you
will.
right.
But it's okay. You know,
I
one and
agree.
done. You tried. Put that on the back burner.
Marcella said, "Oh baby, you're secure." No comments, huh?
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, he said you calling for security. He said you secure. He
I
got
sure
you.
am.
He got you.
Yeah, I got a taser. I'm just dying to use.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say, Marcella, be careful now. She have tasers hid all around our house, so you never know.
And a hammer.
And I have. What's going on? Keith Johnson out of Longview is in the house. We definitely need to get with you next year. When you start your campaigning, have you come on the show, promote yourself, and see if we can help get you elected. So definitely do that. Marcella said, "Tase me, tase me."
See, this is why I have multiple tasers.
Speaking of election, I want to shout out to Junior Zeno, the city councilman from city of Grand Prairie. He was on the show earlier this year, him and Kurt Johnson, and they both won their seats for the city council in Grand Prairie. He reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, and he actually invited my wife and I to come out to Lone Star Park. He was having a um, a celebration out there um, for the ones that supported him during the campaign. I appreciate him for that. It was had a great time. I didn't win no money, but had a great time. So, uh, like I told him, if you need anything, let me know. I'm here to support you. I'm a, I'm gonna support you no matter what. So, Uh, and he's doing some great things in the city of Grand Prairie. Him and Kurt Johnson both are doing great things in both of their districts. So shout out to them and continue to support them. And they're very down to earth. If you're in the city of Grand Prairie, you want to know what's going on, reach out to them. Reach out to them. They don't mind talking and letting you know what's going on in your city. So um, I think we have all our welcomes and all that out the way. Um, I wasn't able to come on last night because I'm gonna tell y'all I've been working like I've been working a lot of hours, so I was extremely tired last night. Um, but I seen this story yesterday about um
Now it's saying up to 4 people, including a police officer, killed in a shooting in a Georgia neighborhood, um, which is never a good thing. We, as the people, we have to monitor what's going on in our neighborhood. Don't know the full situation with that, but for people to lose their lives like that, which is never good. Um, it was a domestic violence call. That's why we talk about domestic violence, try to provide help. If someone is dealing with domestic violence or in a violent relationship, definitely reach out, get some help, and get out of that situation. Um, because even with that, now some people may think, um, if you're in a same-sex relationship, it cannot be abusive. Yes, it can. It can definitely be a abusive relationship. So definitely get some help if you're ever in that situation, and it can actually help you, save you. I know I had that number saved somewhere. Um, so definitely praying for the family and the people that is in it. If you're in the Dallas area and you're in a situation like that, you can call the family place 214-941-1991, and you can actually get some help that way and be able to get the help you need to get out that situation. Um, and while we're speaking about getting help, next Thursday, we're going to have a special guest on the show. We're actually going to have a counselor on the show with us. So I know I talk about counseling all the time. If you're dealing with stuff, definitely want to tune in, ask questions, and be able to get the help that you need. So definitely tune in next Thursday for that. Um, so that will be good also. Um, you still with me, Risky?
I'm reading the story. I
Oh,
sent
okay.
it to you through your messenger. It
Okay.
just popped up.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. We are live, so sometimes things may take place, and she just.
Since while you read, I'll go ahead and intro it because it's very interesting. Uh, Lawyers say that Dallas judge had an employee pretend to be her during an online proceeding. Um, Complaints, there have been 4 complaints filed against Judge Amber Givens, and she's a sister.
Hmm.
And she was like, well, we all look alike, so nobody will know. Nobody's gonna know, but somebody noticed. A group of lawyers, like I said, accused her of forcing staff members to impersonate her during an online court proceeding in August. Um, this complaint was filed late November to the state commissions on judicial conduct, alleging that Amber Givens, the presiding judge of the 282nd court, had her court coordinator illegally conduct a court hearing instead. Um, let's see. They said that November 16 email obtained by WFAA through an open records request. Dallas County District Attorney John Cruzo told Givens that he intended to open a criminal investigation into the accusations. Um, let's see. It stated that the response came to him in response to an October 22nd email stating that prosecutors falsely accused her of courtroom improprieties, um, but he's declined to comment on any investigation plans. when he was contacted. Um, they're stating that impersonating a public servant is a third-degree felony under the penal code, um, but she's claiming that the claims are unsubstantiated and it's a false narrative. Um, trying to see, let's see. Um, I think one of the grievances that was presented stated that um, I guess one of the people from the case was required to wear. Let me see, is that the same? Let's see. So Floyd Lee was in jail for allegedly violating his probation on burglary charges. Um, so they stated they gave him a picture to show that, or to see if that was the judge that was presiding over his case. But according to him, it was somebody else. In that trial, his bail was reduced from 100,000 to 25,000, and he was required to wear an electronic monitoring device once released from jail. Um, but yeah, they're still investigating this situation, and she's just denying it. Uh, I would like to see a picture of the person they think impersonated her. You know what I mean? Like they don't have that um, presented, but I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, oh man, come on! Like I hope it's not true, but I kind of believe it's true. Like she was probably at a nail appointment. I was like, girl, this is a simple case. Let's go in there, hear it, let's reduce his bail, and he needs an ankle monitor. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? But aren't these things recorded so they can
That's why
see?
I was thinking too. It should have.
Like just watch the video. So I need to see who they think impersonated her. Because if it's her aide, you know.
Well, they said they had a picture of her, but they couldn't divorce, and then the fact that they kept saying "Judge" or "Your Honor," and they wasn't corrected. So apparently, that person probably didn't know that's not how they supposed to um,
Yeah, I
address
mean,
it.
right, but
But if they couldn't see the person, you can say all day long, "Well, divorce." Well, guess what? Um, she could have had a cold that day. Her allergies could have been messed up.
I mean, again, I still need to see because I can't believe that it would just be a picture of through the whole court. It sounds like there was actually a person there and, impersonated them. You know what I mean? So
I hate to say it, but
I don't think a judge would actually be like, oh, here's a picture. Or like that's something we would do. Like the judge needs to see you and you need to see them and get reactions and, and present penalties or whatever in accordance to the law. Because that's what it sounds like was done. Because the fact that they showed a picture to the guy to just to prove is this the person that ruled over the case. But I'm thinking like in their video, where's the video? So
yeah,
they're like,
but
you clear that up real quick.
I know that name, and I want to say she's done some great things in Dallas, because she haven't been a judge that long. I
Yeah,
don't think
she looks really young.
yeah, she haven't been a judge that long. I remember that name, but yeah, hopefully they don't push it all the way to the max. Um, okay, reprimand her, but let her stay on the bench. And
I don't know if she's gonna stay on the bench. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how this pans out. I'm gonna keep my eye on this story because I just think it's very interesting.
yeah, that's kind of um,
Just trying to show a picture of her. Hold on, because she's a young little tenderoni.
yeah, she Yeah, she's definitely not bad looking. Gotta have a lot of hair, so
Darn Gen Zs.
maybe she was having a bad hair day, didn't want to show her face on
No,
camera.
listen, stick on a wig. Like that don't even look. That's probably not even. That's probably pieces. Slick it back and keep it moving. That's
You
how
know,
we handle bad hair days.
I was I was driving somewhere today, and I'm gonna have to find out. And if somebody know, hit me up. I passed by this shop today. They do custom made beds. It's a shop they have, and wonder if they could do me some cornrows. Why are you looking like that?
Just you when you go way left, I just, wait for you to come back. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff, like when a kid's having a tantrum, sometimes you just gotta let them go through it and they come back to normal. They come back. You just gotta ride out the storm.
Well, hey, um, well, okay. No, but serious. If someone do know that shop, I think it would be interesting. I think it's a great idea to do custom made
Well,
wigs.
they do that in most black hair establishments, like that do like black natural hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of like with you and when you did the wigs online, it's supposed to be one thing and end up getting something completely different. Oh,
Well,
blonde
those are
wig.
shops. That's not
Yeah,
actually going to a hair salon. Because again, Black Hair Care, which is not a wig shop online that's made in Taiwan. Maybe the hair is Taiwanese, but you can go to most Black Hair Care facilities, and some people can do custom made wigs.
and I actually
Trust me, I
uh,
know.
I seen a video kind of like what you said before when you ordered your wigs online that time, and they
Hmm.
what you're supposed to what you order and what you got didn't add
Yeah.
up right.
Oh, that
Yeah,
mess was funny. But that was from someone that like a business that I wasn't familiar with. So I went back to what I knew because I was like, oh, okay.
mm,
But apparently a brown bob to them is a long blonde wig. I don't know. But I let my Khaleesi flag fly. I was, Daenerys Stormborn,
mm.
first of
Well,
her kind.
welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Thank you for always supporting and being a great supporter of the show. Um, so
I wonder if I
this,
can find the pictures of me because I think I took pictures and put it on Instagram of my wigs because I
which
got it's like buy one get one free. So I got four very interesting wig selections.
yeah, one of them was blonde and
Well,
was
yeah, I
one
think
was a
yeah.
hot
Oh, here we
pink.
go. All right, y'all ready?
Okay.
And then the
Now,
one at the top, I actually cut that down because it was uber long, but it's supposed to be brown with some like blonde highlights. And the bottom one again is supposed to be a bob and it's supposed to be brown, but it was long and wavy, giving my best, Daryl Hannah. And then that one, Daenerys Stormborn, you know. I'll keep I still have that one just in case, I do do a Comic Con and I can do, Game of Thrones or something.
hmm, now that blonde, you look completely different with that blonde. Look like you about to go set it off or something.
No, I actually, you know what, kind of look like Gandalf, maybe. So maybe I'll be like the wizard from what was it Lord the what is it?
Lord
The
of the
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
excuse
that's
me.
Gandalf, right?
I'm
I don't
sorry.
remember. It's been a minute since I watched those movies. I can't remember which nerd pick that was from. But yeah, I can do that. Or I have options. Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. Give me a
I
robe,
feel you.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, but according to your eyes, it look like you finna go and mess up something.
Yeah,
But
bro.
what
It could have
else?
been the wine.
Oh, one of those type
You
of
play
night.
dress up, get your wine, you be fine.
Exactly. No, wine make everything better. Well,
Yeah, I
alcohol,
didn't make them
period.
wigs better. I still had presence of mind not to wear them in public.
Oh, okay. Marcellus, hear that? Oh, never mind. Never mind. One day Marcella's gonna call in and actually talk and stop doing a drive-by keyboard by and and call in. Let him hear your voice or something. So oh, excuse me. It's past my bedtime. I'm up here yawning. I'm doing everything. But definitely I know. Um So you want to do an update on that shooting from? Oh, it's a couple of things we forgot about. Um, the Maxwell case. That trial started
I
today, right?
I don't know. I ain't following it. I'm surprised she's still alive. So she's ahead of the game.
Well, the thing
But
is,
I think then they bring. Oh, didn't I send you something about that? Like, because they were saying that Trump.
flew on the
Hold on.
plane with him.
I guess far right dismisses pilot's damning testimony that Trump flew
Yeah,
on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. Uh, but like we've talked about this before, when you have money and you have such wealth, you don't like normal things is not thrilling, and they do the most outrageous things, and even sex trafficking, and underage sex and animals or whatever. That all the taboo things is thrilling for them and is not off limits to them because as long as they have money, they have the resources to get what they want. And they feel that they align themselves with powerful people that they're protected. And that's what they are. It's just a giant pedophile organization, just wealthy businessmen. So,
well,
Spiegel,
eh,
not Spiegel. Isn't that the My Precious? Am I thinking of the right one? Let me see, Spiegel.
don't ask me because I never did watch it.
Yeah, it is. Like I keep forgetting his name. I just call him My Precious.
Oh wow!
My precious, my precious ring.
Hey, you gotta warn
Thank you. That's my only impression for the night. Thank you. That's the only thing I can do.
you gotta warn folks when you get ready to put pictures up like that. Decaf
Listen,
said
that's how I
yes.
be looking when I get up in the morning and my phone doesn't recognize me. I'm like, you know this face.
You should know it by now.
And then I look in the mirror. I don't know this face. Hold on, my eyes aren't even fully open.
All right. See, Marcellus, see what you have to deal with? Why looking like you froze on me?
No, my sister sent me something. I was like, what? It just said he's what's moving. I guess. No,
Oh,
I guess he's just getting it. I don't know. I don't know.
oh, she watching
Thick
TikTok.
thighs save lives.
Yeah.
I know thick thighs saved my phone from going into the toilet one time. So thick thighs. Yeah, I dropped that phone. I was like this. And if I had a thigh gap, it would have been like bloop right into the toilet. And then that phone would have just been in the seat, in the sewage.
Well, most of them is waterproof now.
No. Like they can tolerate water to a certain point, but they're not waterproof.
So you weren't finna grab it if it
No, I
fell
grabbed
in.
it. No,
Oh,
because I remember going to a concert and it fell, and I had that moment of like, do I really need this phone? Because
yeah,
I forgot the phone was in my back pocket, but we had just gotten to the concert, and it looked like the restroom was untouched at because we were in the back part, the newer, and so I was just like this. Well, I do need a new phone. But then I started thinking like all my personal information's on it. And so I took it out and I put soap on it and washed it out and hope for the best.
yeah. If I'm at home, I'm like I'm grabbing it. But if I'm out in public, I'm gonna be like you, be like, do I really need this? Or,
Like I started like the equation started falling, going through my head, like how many bacteria and can I wash it off with soap? Then as soon as I get home, bleached it down. Eventually I traded my phone in. Apparently there was no water damage. But it was doing some weird things up until.
now, I recently purchased a UV light, so I use that quite a bit for my phone, my watch, and stuff. Um,
I bet it's just for your phone and watch.
oh Lord, Lord. Let's stand by. Um, you're listening to Speak On It with Who You With, Curtdog. Miss Risky and I just chilling tonight. Hold on, let me say that right. Chilling with Curtdog and Miss Risky. That's
It's
dead
like it's
serious.
like this is live, but he's like, all right, take two. This is live. Okay, take three. like, like, what are you doing?
See, I did not sleep good last night. And
Don't blame it on sleep.
4:45
This is
come
you all the
early.
time. This is the
Why
like.
you telling family secret?
Listen, you telling family secrets. Look at this.
See,
Ain't no
what had
secret.
happened was,
Well, ain't know what had happened.
oh,
All day
all
with your
right.
shenanigans.
So, where my story go? A couple of stories, not a couple of more stories I want to talk about. Go ahead and say it. I already know. Well, you didn't tell me about that one. Give you time to pull it up.
I ain't
Casey,
pulling up. I'm just gonna go by feels. No, I'm
yeah,
just
you
kidding.
sent it to me. Casey Goodson Jr. Out of Columbus, Ohio. Um, so earlier, I believe it was earlier this year. Um, no, it was December 4th, 2020. Um, I'll just read the story.
Yeah, just
I'm
read the story.
trying to remember way back then. So actually, been a year ago. Well, about to be a year coming up. So this happened in Columbus, Ohio. The Ohio sheriff deputy who fatally shot Casey Goodson Jr. in the back 5 times was charged Thursday with murder, an encounter that led to racial justice protests, yet is still largely unexplained and involved no body camera, dash cam footage. An attorney for the family of Goodson, who was black, also announced a federal civil rights lawsuit against the now retired, how the hell he retired, white deputy who shot him, Jason Meade, in the Franklin County Sheriff Office, alleging wrongful death and excessive use of force. The fatal shooting of Goodson took place in Columbus on December 2020, while Meade, a 17-year member of the sheriff office, was finishing an unsuccessful search for a fugitive as part of his work for the U.S. Marshal Service Task Force. Goodson was not the subject of the fugitive search. U.S. Marshal Peter Tobin initially said Meade confronted Goodson after Goodson drove by and waved a gun at the deputy, but he later withdrew those comments, saying they've been based on incident information. Tobin also said Meade was not performing a mission for the marshal at the time of the shooting. Goodson was opening the door to his grandmother's house when he was shot, relatives say. Relatives say Goodson was opening the door to his grandmother's house at the time he was shot. Officials said that a gun was recovered from the scene but have not provided further detail. The family has
Don't
said
forget, he had a Subway sandwich
that's
in
what
his
I'm
hand.
getting to right now. The family has said Goodson had a sandwich, not a gun in his hand. But even if Goodson had been carrying a gun, the family has reiterated he had a license to do so. The family planned the news conference Thursday. The Franklin County coroner said of March that Goodson had been shot 5 times in the back. A judge scheduled initial hearing Friday for me. The message was left seeking comments from the attorney, who was previously said the coroner report has no bearing on what actually happened that day. Um, but here's the key, because we talked about this story last year, right before we went on break. Because what happened is he got out the car, had a Subway sandwich in his hand. Cop come up and I'm shooting it. And this actually happened, I think it was a couple of days after a white suspect who was pulled over by the police had a gun in the seat of his car and threatened to shoot the police. And when the police tried to pull him out the car, he drove off. So that's something else we had to deal with. So people say it's equal justice across the board, but no, it's not. It's definitely not. And for it to take a year before this guy was charged and he was able to retire, what type of mess is that? You don't
I
let
mean,
it
he looked
retire.
crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he definitely did. Welcome to the show, Jack Kramer said. I hope justice is served for Gibson the way it was for Cap. We're not gonna go down that. We're not gonna go down that Cal Road again tonight, Jack. We just not gonna do it. Not
It ain't
tonight.
even like it's not even the same type of situation. Like I don't even understand how you got that parallel
Uh,
between that.
uh,
But trolls
See,
gonna troll.
Jack been good for the last couple of shows I've been on, and every once in a while he'll throw Kyle name up in the mix, but that ain't the same situation. It's definitely okay. It's not the same situation because this young brother was shot in the back 5 times by a police officer unarmed who also lied on his report. He lied a couple of times. They haven't at the time when we did it, they had I believe they had been approved for body cameras, but they haven't gone into effect where they had to wear them. And then the police car didn't even have there's no cam footage from the police car. So it's
Well, he's saying we cut him off his statement, so
how did
it
we
looks
cut
a
him
little
off?
bit better with the full.
Okay.
So there
He
was
say
more to that.
it's more to it, but it say I hope justice is served for Goodson the way it was for Cal and Arbery. Goodson was a victim, just like Arbery and Cal. Cal wasn't no damn
Yeah,
victim.
yeah. But let's not even go open that door because
Yeah,
again,
we
according to the law, because now he's innocent, so we can't even just he's not even in the same category.
he
Like
said all three was
now, if he
shot
had
at.
been shot in the face by a cop because he was carrying a weapon, yes,
Okay.
he would have been on the same boat, but he's not. So let's take Cal out of this equation.
Did you
It's
read
not
the
even the
second
same
comment
situation.
though? Did you read the second one?
Uh, I'm reading it, but I didn't hear what you said. I was like trying to figure out what you were saying.
No, he talking about all three was shot at. Only Cal was able to defend himself. When was Cal shot at?
He should have been shot at.
Exactly. See, that's what we talking about. This conspiracy theory and this false information. That's something we don't do on here.
But I mean, they're going off of that video, but I'm like, listen, I can come up to you and threaten you, and then they show you trying to take my gun away, and then all of a sudden, oh no, he was aggressor, and I just shot because I was defending my rights. I was standing my ground. Like anybody can spin the story. Anybody can, you can change the narrative to fit your narrative. Like
yeah,
so, but still, Kyle, he been there, done that, went through trial. He was considered, found not guilty of all charges. So we're not even going to put him in that same category. We're not even going to give him more airtime, but he's going to be back on our radars because I'm sure he's going to commit a crime, and it's going not this time it'll stick, just like Ethan Couch, Mr. Affluenza, and oh, he had a great future, killed all them people, got off, and where is he now? In the pokey.
Oh, is he back in jail?
Oh, I don't know now, but
Oh, I
like right
was.
after he was back in the pokey, like he was supposed to have this great life, a great normal life because he was a young boy. He learned his lesson.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
him and his mammy ran off to Mexico together.
snorting cocaine off of hookers' booties.
So yeah. Um, okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
I lost my train of thought because I was gonna say
it's
something
okay.
else. Oh, I know. Well, see, I was really trying not to uh bring up the young boy, but did I send you the story that came out last week
I
about
don't know. I'm hearing music in the background. Hold on. I don't know where it's coming from.
I'm like, I don't hear nothing.
It's on my computer. Something just woke up.
Oh.
And I thought it was coming from you because you're like, you paused. And I was like, is that hillbilly music? What are you trying to do? Like, where are you going with this? And I was like, oh, wait, that's my computer.
Oh, so you blaming me for it.
No, no, I didn't. It's my computer. Just for a split second, I was like things weren't matching.
I'm gonna send you something. I don't want to say it on the air. I'm gonna send you something and let you decide if you want to break it. I think I did send it to you last week. Hold on, let me find
Well,
it.
while you sending stuff, let's talk about the school shooting suspect, another Ethan.
Oh Lord,
Ethan Crumley. They actually, I was surprised, and I think everybody was surprised. They actually showed his picture
I
because they
said.
usually don't do that for them, the others,
Well, I actually
unless they do
said.
something crazy like those two teenage boys with the terrorist act, the 13-year-old boys, and they showed their like mugshot. Um,
Yeah,
so I was shocked at this.
I actually
But
said Tuesday night. I felt like they will release his name and picture Wednesday, and of course
yeah,
they did.
yeah,
Uh, And I feel like this instead of trying to protect a child, and I sent that to your messenger. I don't know if you got it yet. Instead of trying to protect a child killer, um, they should go ahead and identify them. Don't protect their identity for the simple fact. Look at the crime they've done. When they do a
exactly.
felony crime like that, yes, they
Yeah, all
need to
bets are
go
off.
ahead. You consider grown because you're going to get charged like a grown man, and that's all to it.
Right.
So, um,
And it's, what is it? Let's see. How many counts does he have? 12. Let's see. Um, he's got 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, 1 count of terrorism, and 12 counts of possession of a firearm. So we'll see where that goes. There, I guess he's in big boy jail, but they have him segregated. And his parents have allowed, like allow um, the lawyers and allow him to speak on his behalf, but they have to give approvals for everything before they make, before they can talk to him about certain things. Let's see, he's being held without bond. He's in the Oakland County Jail after being moved from the Children's Village. Um, so yeah, because I guess right now, they're not trying to put him right in with the grown-ups because that wouldn't fare well, but not yet until he goes through trial and we'll see how that goes because I'm very curious to see how um, like if he gets charged on all these counts or if they you know lessen the charges because of his age and who he is.
I think they should also add impersonating a police officer because they said he was going around to the classroom, knocking on the doors, pretending to be the police officer to try to get the doors open.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
and then another thing. So this is my beef. So this is a risky rants. So people knew about his intentions before he did this. You know why? How they knew? Because he did a video. He recorded a video Monday night before the violence in which he discussed killing the students. Some of the students didn't even show up at the school because they knew something was about to pop off. Like this was really planned because they knew ahead of time. And then the video comes out and they're like, I ain't going to school today. And the fact that the students knew, like, why didn't anybody say anything? Did the teachers know and just didn't say anything or do anything or take it serious? Because like, if a bomb threat is called in, guess what? Everybody's on the outside, until the fire department and whatever's they do a sweep of the area to make sure it's safe, even though it's because a kid just didn't want to take a test. We had those all the time. Well, not all the time, but like something like
at
this,
one
where
point, we did
kids are
have that.
shooting up places, like you take that seriously. Like no parents knew. Like I'm sure the kids, so hey, Ethan is going around talking about he's shooting people. Get on that phone, call the administrators.
Well, look at it like this. Um, the parents said he'd been acting weird for a couple of days. Now, the parents said this, but on Black Friday, the dad purchased a weapon, then also turned around, did not secure that weapon to keep it away from his child. The boy had a video showing him pointing the gun. I think he even showed him firing the gun, and the parents didn't think nothing about it. They said he been acting weird, but why would you buy a gun if your son been acting weird? Why you didn't get your son some
Well,
help?
here's the thing. They were supposed to secure it and lock it up. According to their state laws, it should be secure, and they didn't secure it. And the parents should be liable for their kids' action. All these kids, I think a lot of these parents who, I mean, look at him. Just look like he's going through something.
Oh
He's
yeah,
going through something.
and then immediately after, the sheriff did said the parents probably will be charged too.
They need to. I'm tired
Yeah,
of the parents getting away with, because it's like at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure these children, like your kids, are being raised right. If they have a problem, it's your job to make sure they're okay. It sounds like they just kind of ignored them. Like most parents, they're too busy and like I don't want to hear anymore. Oh, he was bullied. There are a lot of options out there. There are lots of programs. You see that the kid was not right, you need to talk to him and see what's going on. Like my niece one time, she was going through some things. She was a little nugget. And I'm like, what has you all stressed? Like she wouldn't talk the whole day. And that's unusual for her. But I'm asking her questions. You got to ask these kids questions and nag them until they break. And then it turned out to be something like not really a big issue. Like it wasn't happening to her. She was feeling all the feels from Hurricane Katrina. She was stressed because the kids, they lost their homes, and she could relate because this was something big that was happening in our lifetime. And she
Mm.
didn't know how to process it. But you got to talk to these kids, even if it's a minor situation, like that situation we were able to resolve and, smooth over. We made a donation. She was good to go.
You
But,
should come home. You should come
hmm,
home every day and talk with your kids every day.
like,
Sit
for
down and
real.
have a one-on-one conversation. See how their day was, and have an open conversation with them, and then you will find out more. I've said it on the show many times. Stop allowing social media, video games, TV, reality shows, um, to raise your kids. At some point, you as the parent need to raise your own kids. Now, if you're in a situation you working a couple of jobs and still you still need to find time for your kids to make sure they okay in their life. Um, and while we're talking about them, it came out. I guess it came out today. Uh, yeah, today. Said that his mother, had wrote an open letter to former President Donald Trump praising his support for the Second Amendment. See, what you do online or what you do in life, these things don't disappear. That's going to come out when this trial comes. It's going to come out when the parents are charged. And they trial come, it's going to come out. They feel like it's their right, and they taught their child how to use a gun, and but then
And see, I have no problems with teaching your kids about gun control, whatever. Go to the shooting range, let off some steam, fine. But when you get home, secure that weapon. That kid should not be touching that weapon. Like for real.
you're right.
But
I'm like,
still, especially like Jack says, kid looking like Marilyn Manson, looking like a cute little son, and then 2 weeks go by, and then all of a sudden he's Marilyn Manson, like going through some stuff. And I'm sure he threw a lot more hints. He was struggling with something, and they ignored it. They just,
exactly.
oh, he was acting funny. You didn't probe that?
I was I was talking with a friend earlier, and they was talking about he's a school teacher, and was talking about one of his students, and said this young man come in and always want to cuss, don't want to learn in school, don't want to learn anything, but always cuss and all of this. And then all of a sudden, they look out the window, the mother showed up, and all this other stuff happened. But then kind of find out, he called the mother and told him that he cussed them out, threatened to beat them, and all of this. But they knew it wasn't true because when he wasn't there before, guess what? The guy pretty much did the same thing then. And I told him, I said, man, y'all need to be careful because if he's going around lying like this and then want to cuss y'all out and cuss at his mama and all of this, well, guess what? Just like yesterday, that school shooting that happened, they need to monitor this child because this child has some serious issue. First of all, being raised wrong. Need to monitor the mama.
And see, I talked about this situation with my boss, and I think her sister's a guidance counselor, but she travels. And, I was thinking, I was like, there are no more counselors. Remember, you used to have a go-to person that you could talk to. I mean, and they were just there because kids need stability. They need to know that they can go to someone to air out their grievances or whatever, no matter how big or small it is. But we need to do better with our healthcare, and mental health is a key component because I think a lot of these situations would be resolved if we did more with healthcare and
Yeah,
mental health and promoted that and put it
that's
back in the schools. No more of this roaming school to school. We need qualified individuals in those schools because kids are going through a lot. And if and then the teachers are pretty much the same age they are. So it's like they're all doing TikTok videos, but there's stuff going on these kids are dealing with, and if they can't go to their parents, they need to be able to go to somebody. Bring
yeah.
back the hotlines.
Well, I think some of it come down to where that generation curse. Some of them don't want to change. They grown to be accustomed to their environment, and they
But
feel
usually children break away from that, and the fact that the parents was just like, oh, he's just being weird and ignored him. Like maybe if he had like a place where they promoted and said, hey, if you need to talk to somebody, because I know when, I was coming up, drug hotline, suicide hotline. Hey, if you need to talk in private, meet us in the back, da da da. You know what I mean? They promoted things like that. And now it seems like they don't do enough of that. Kids don't know where to turn to. They go make TikTok videos and make suicide videos. You know what I mean? Like they have nobody, or
exactly.
they don't think that they have someone because, and I'm sure there are programs in the schools that they have available, but they don't know about it, and they need to push those because these
And
kids are going through some things, and we have no
the
idea. Like,
grown-ups are going through some things.
right, and we can barely handle it. So can you imagine the children?
Exactly. TK said my mom had retired counselor, and she talked about before she retired, she started to see how schools are changing. Um, I'm glad she retired because, man, this, I don't know. Um, but that's one reason why um, I talk about counseling so much on the show. Uh, Next week, I want y'all to join us next Thursday um, with Dr. Simmons or Miss Simmons come on the show um, next Thursday, and she's going to be a counselor. She'll be on here the full time, and want you to have your kids around to actually be able to discuss some things, find out what's going on, and I'll even do this. I say it all the time, but if someone is serious about it, that I probably should get it approved by her, but I'm sure she'll be okay with it. If you're dealing with something and need to talk with a counselor, I definitely call in, ask questions, ask questions. Um, what if you're a child or grown up or whatever? Like I said, Tuesday night, Thanksgiving, it was a rough time for me. Matter of fact, I talked to Risky Thanksgiving. And I told her, I said, look, today was tough for me. And even though she wouldn't give me that sweet potato mini pies, but I'm like,
Listen,
cool.
those were gone as soon as I brought them.
But the thing is, it was rough for me. I talked about it Tuesday night on the show at the end of the show. But I'm not the only one that's dealing with stuff. So we all go through stuff, and some of us deal with stuff in silence. We don't want to discuss it. But to be honest with you, Until I started taking counseling, I held a lot of stuff in. But now that I'm so open, it actually helped me out more than what I thought it was, than what I thought it would at first. So next Thursday night, when uh, Miss Deion Simmons come next week, please tune in. Tell your friend. We're gonna hit on. We're gonna deal with grief. We're gonna deal with still this pandemic because here it is. This new variant is out,
Yeah, the Omarion.
and it and it's picking up. Right.
It's not the name of it. But the memes are fantastic. It's like true to form. I was like, when I saw the new variant, that was the first thing that came to mind. Omarion. I was like, that's not Omarion.
Yeah, but it's starting to pick up. It's
Because I
not
think it's
good at
in,
all.
isn't it in Colorado now?
Last I heard, California, New York. It was four in New York. It's a total of
Because
eight.
there's one in not Canada, in
15 seconds.
California, but I could have sworn there was something going on in
I think it
Colorado.
was four in New York. They say it's a total of 8 cases in the U.S. right now. So it could have been
That's why I
Colorado
stay
too.
in the house.
Stand by. I don't know why they do that. You're listening to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm Al, Who You With Curtdog. Uh, Tonight we chilling with Miss Risky and I. Was that better?
Hmm?
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
I was focused on the truck that was like hitting all the humps. Like,
That's what that was? Wait a minute, I
I was
thought it
like, he
was
gonna
static.
lose the trailer. He boom, boom, boom.
I thought it was static in the earpieces.
No,
I
it was
don't
like I
know.
don't know if because I know there was a moving truck that I came in the apartment with.
I sure
But
hope
something.
I hope it ain't nobody furniture on there.
I mean, the way that trailer popped up, because it was like it sounded light. It was like
Oh,
he just
hey.
hit it. I was like,
Um,
he gonna end up not having the trailer.
so T Cow put a couple of comments in. She said, hell, when I was in school, if it wasn't the counselor, people went to the school nurse.
Yeah,
The
we
school
always
nurse.
had somebody. That's the crazy thing. And then we always like when I had went to high school because it was a big school. We had that cool teacher, that cool hippie teacher. That's what we had. Like and then we most of the kids in my circle we had the same struggle. Kids of the 80s, all, most of us were molested in some way or raped in some cases. And we somehow we just came together and we talked about it. So it was like, if somebody came up and touched somebody, it's like, oh, it's your turn. We made it a joke, even though it wasn't funny, but that was how we dealt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just 80s kids. We were just built different. But yeah, it could have gone either way with a lot of kids. But yeah, we did have people to talk to, and now, like I said, teachers are the same age as the kids, and they're doing too busy to focus on the kids because they're doing TikToks, and the parents are too busy because they're trying to make a living, or just don't care, you know.
Exactly.
And that's unfortunate. And there's a lot of parents out there who just don't care.
Now,
In them streets.
I'm trying to think of one of my counselor names, but she was like kind of like auntie. Cause sometimes you go in there and talk with your guidance counseling. With mine, if she wasn't in the office, you had to step outside the building around the corner. She was out there smoking a cigarette. Then she'd be like, "Let me just get finished, and we could go in here and talk." I cannot think of that woman's name, but she was cool. But if you got on her bad side, she was gonna treat you just like her child. And I was like, okay. But she was cool though. I can't remember her name, but she loved those cool loans. Or the Benson and Hedges, probably what she was smoking or something. But Yeah, but she was good. She was great. Um, I had a high school teacher who was really good. Miss Mass. That was Miss Mass was cool. And matter of fact, she actually passed away a couple of years ago, and my wife and I went to go see her a couple of months before she passed away, and she had we always stayed in contact. Um, and I was like, hey, I need to come out and see you and all of this. She like, no, uh, just wait until such and such. But I didn't know she. I found out when we went to visit her why. But um, but she always would call, check up on me, send me letters in the mail and stuff, and just a sweet person. And then so one day I called. I said, look, I'm coming to visit you Saturday. I'm not taking no for an answer. She said, okay. Went out there, had a good time, and just a sweet person altogether. And I miss her because she was cool. She was cool. One of those people that you can talk to about anything, and she gonna give you her honest opinion about it. So um, also, TCAL said my sister worked in special needs and administration department for the school, and she said teachers are catching hell and students are running
Muck.
amok.
But also
I,
remember, like, even like the kids on the short bus, we were never intermingled.
true,
Remember, like it was segregated. They were always somewhere in the back somewhere,
true.
and they got the special counseling that they needed, or whatever. And now you got kids who are in these classes, that they shouldn't be in, with the smart kids, and just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, no, there's no more specialties, and you know I don't know. Like, I am afraid for the kids of this future, this generation. Like, there is literally like Lord of the Flies, like for real. They're just batshit crazy, and parents don't care, and there's no place for them to go.
Yeah, it's really a sad situation because the kids today is our future, and I don't know how we can avoid it because um, not unless we skip over a whole generation.
Well, if we skip generation, the kids who are shooting up the schools are the ones raising this next crop. Like, we need to stop it now. We need to Gen X unite. I think we need to take over. Come on, Gen X.
Yeah,
We need to bring back the belts and counseling sessions. We gotta get it back. Rein these people in and their parents. Oh my
spare the
gosh.
rod, spoil the child. Got to tie that
Like,
ass up.
oh my gosh, like we because we just, that generation is like, it don't involve me. Listen, it's going to involve us, because these are going to be the people running these nursing homes when we up in there, and they doing TikToks when our oxygen is low, unplugging life support to charge their phones. Like, come
Yeah,
on, like that's who we're leaving in charge.
and I can hear
And
them saying he lived long enough. He didn't need it.
he's like so old, and he like dead anyway. It's like, and then like like probably touching the nose and irritating the people because they can't move. Like, this generation is coming up.
Yeah, it's
They
gonna be
like,
bad.
we gotta rein them in now. Come on, Gen X. Let's do something. We gotta, like Power Rangers, we gotta unite. Power Rangers Oh, I sent
Power
you a,
Ranger.
a thing
Oh, okay.
that we could end on, just for.
I seen that the other day, but we're gonna talk about something else and then we'll
Yeah.
we'll start closing out. So I have a question for folks. Uh, uh, what's his name? Uh,
Jack?
yeah, Jack Crane. I'm finna call him James. James Evans. But Jack, if you still here, I want to ask the question because I know you are a Trump supporter, but it came out yesterday that Trump tested positive right before the first debate against our current president, Joe Biden. How do you feel knowing this? Not just Jack, but anybody, knowing that he lied and he down talked this virus the whole time, but he tested positive before the first debate and knew he was positive and still did the debate. I want to know how y'all feel about it. How you feel about it, Miss Risky?
I don't care about him or that story. I don't care.
Keep it real.
like lots of people get the virus and it's like he's just gonna end up taking a miracle I'm a millionaire drug and he'll be fine. Like this isn't anything new. Like
Okay. I'm trying to
now
think.
if he's like hospitalized and and doing all that, then I'd be like, well, then I'd be like, all right, well, too bad, so sad, but I don't wish any ill will, but he gonna be bouncing around like normal. I just don't care.
Well, I think the point I was making, the fact that he lied to American people and these folks are still supporting him.
Yeah, but that happens. I mean, he's a politician, salesman, whatever. But most politicians, they're like used car salesmen. You just got to pick the one that's not so much a lemon and hope for the best. Like I don't trust any of the politicians, and I really need to know who else is running because Biden, come on now,
Biden not gonna make it next time.
like and then the Republican Party, is Trump the only one? Like, do we have any libertarians that can do a sweep? Can we get somebody viable? Because those
Somebody
two
had
options,
somebody had put in a chat the other day. They wished that a Democrat and a independent team up
like, we
together.
need to do something like Power Rangers. We need to mix something up because this ain't working.
No, it's definitely not.
Like, it's not.
Um, yeah, it's not good either way. I think even our local election is going to be kind of bad. Um, that's why it's so important for us to get out and vote every election because even this last one, it was a low outcome. So if people think they depend on everyone else to vote to get our elected officials out of office, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, Dan Patrick, Sid Miller, to get them all out of office, Board of Education, get them all out of office, we all have to do our part. Get registered now. Um, for next year, you don't have to worry about getting ready. Um, so that's my opinion about it. But I know it's the clock on the wall said it's almost that time. So I'm gonna let you do this one, cause if I try to do it, we might be on here for a whole another hour, which I'd probably sleep.
Yeah, so I just saw this story. Uh, they just posted like a few minutes ago. A woman allegedly caught breastfeeding a cat on a plane. Look at cute little Fluffy. But that's not the cat. They just have a picture of a random cat. So apparently, A woman on Delta
Oh,
Airlines was reportedly caught breastfeeding her pet cat mid-flight and refused to stop. They stated that this was on a flight between Syracuse, New York, and Atlanta, Georgia, when the incident occurred. Um, there's even a screen capture of an aircraft communications addressing this situation. I guess they call it ACARES, Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System, which shows that a woman is breastfeeding a cat. And somebody reported that a passenger seat 13A is breastfeeding the cat and will not put the cat back in the carrier. In response to the request from the flight attendant, um, it was followed by a message that asked the situation be addressed by the airline's red coat team upon landing. Little information has been released, and Newsweek says it did not independently verify that this message was true or not. But they stated that one of the people on the plane stated this woman had one of those hairless cats swaddled up in a blanket so it looked like a baby. And they stated her shirt was up and she was trying to get the cat to latch and she wouldn't put the cat back in the carrier and the cat was screaming for his life. Like, see, this is why cats don't trust people. Like they always walk around like, I don't know, I will kill you if I needed to. And then you got people doing stuff like this. Like, really?
I just sent you a better picture.
How, where, how, and where?
Text.
Now that one looks like Spiegel. Spiegel.
But that's time I Delta does allow cats on flights. That look like a scary cat.
I mean, they're just hairless. They're fine.
Yeah, but look at those
My
eyes. Can
sister
you?
posted on because I shared this on my Facebook. My sister says we need to just shut everything down again because clearly it's affecting. This new variant is affecting brains. Like, well, I think the
Well,
first one because we haven't even. I don't think we've recovered from the first one. I think that's mutated and did something with our brains because people are doing crazy things more and more now.
now I have a question.
You doing-
First of all, the cat is ugly. I'm
the
gonna
cat
just
what?
put it. It looks scary. I said it
I
was
mean,
ugly.
listen, it could, something that's ugly is beautiful to somebody else. It's just a cat.
Yeah, but those ears look like bat ears or something.
I mean, it's hairless. If it had fur, that's what like without fur, that's what most cats look like.
Okay,
But
so I hear
I
what you're
mean,
saying that it don't have hair. It's
I
furless.
mean, maybe she had allergies, and that was the best point for her. I mean, she got it trying to suckle her boobies, so it's like,
But here's the question I have though, Risky.
uh,
Okay, I understand the cat don't have no hair on him. It's hairless. But aren't the teeth still the same?
listen, I don't know how
That
old this cat
that
was, but
seemed like that would hurt.
they all have razor teeth. So again, this woman, like, they need direct coats. Like, get her some help that she needs. And see, this is what happens when there's no counseling involved, because this shouldn't have never happened.
Exactly, because you letting
But
the
like, I
trying to
never like. I mean, people stop breastfeeding babies once they get that first tooth in, because word on the street, gums hurt. And that tooth shows up, you getting regular milk, child. Here's a straw.
okay,
You
but
thinking too hard. No, you thinking too hard on something that
because
is,
it's a lot of stuff coming out of this.
well, here's the thing, like you're trying to rationalize something that's irrational. Just don't. You can't. I learned that a long time ago. Like, you just cannot. And put that on a
I'm
t-shirt. Speaking of, I may be giving away some t-shirts I have in stock of my shirt. We gotta figure out what to do. They're
We
not
get
spectacular, but it is what it is. And we need to
excuse
start
me.
thinking about how we're doing some giveaways. So before the end of the year, and before maybe Christmas, maybe we'll see. We'll work
Well,
out the details,
we have 2 weeks before the end of the year show.
and we still gotta finish up our show thing,
Yeah.
Mister. The 16th,
You say what?
Mister. We'll do it on the 16th. I think that's the date. I don't even remember, but I'll be, you know,
If we need to push it back, we can do that. But
I don't know. Let me see how things work out this weekend because I'm secluding myself. I mean, I'm gonna go to the movies once in the AM because I want to see Ghostbusters in theaters because I have
the
free.
afterlife.
Well, because I have free like 3 movie passes from Cinemark because I used to be a part of the club and
Yeah, and
they
then they start
expired.
back billing you.
Right, but I still had stuff in reserve, and I have 3, tickets, and they expire, I think, March of
Wait a
next
minute.
year
How the hell they gonna make them expire for they
because I'm no
charging
longer
you?
paying for the services.
Oh,
Like,
well,
so
they
I still
started
got
my service. They started my service back at charging me. I just
right,
so
but I
happened.
canceled, and you have a year from that date to use your unused tickets.
But see, when the pandemic hit, they put it on pause, and then
Yeah,
I guess about 3 months ago, I looked at one of my credit card bills. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't used this card. What is this
oh yeah.
1081
As soon as
for?
they started putting stuff in theaters only, that's when you started getting charged. But I
I'm
had
like,
that one payment and then I canceled it. But I still had movie passes, so I'm gonna do that. And then we plan on seeing West Side Story, so that's covered. And then I'm done. Or I may wait. When does Spider-Man come out?
I just seen the commercial for it earlier. I
Because I'm
don't
gonna
know.
see that in theaters. I want to
Can't
be.
find his way home or something. Or
I don't know.
I asked my wife. I said, "Hey, I thought we seen that." She said, "No, that was no way. It's no way
Yeah,
home this time."
yeah, it's a variation of what the other one is. Like first one was Homecoming, the other one was what Far Away from Home or something,
And you
and
sound
this one probably No Way Home. I don't know, but I think all the Spider-Mans
Spider
are.
Man just
I love
swing.
it, but he's strong and he's got things now because Tony Stark gave him all the gadgets in his suit,
Oh, okay. I'm trying to see how many free.
and he's adorable. Like I just
Oh,
want to pick him up and blow on his tummy and put him in my pocket.
it comes out December the 17th. I just went on Cinemark to, because I don't know how many free tickets I have.
I just
Um,
have 3. I think. So now I gotta figure out. I gotta ration it.
oh, I have
Do I want
6.
to pay full price for that one? Do I want to use my free vouchers? Because we're
I have.
doing. No, I think okay. So this one I'm do. Use my voucher for Ghostbusters, then pay for my friend, or should I just let her buy her own ticket? Because I need our seats to be together and
Why don't
save
you?
it.
I
I
mean,
don't know. I'll figure it out.
you said you have 3 tickets, right?
3.
Just get you and your friend one and tell her about the popcorn.
Oh, I don't eat there. I just want to go to the movie and leave. I
Tell her
don't
about
want
a
to do
co-
it.
Tell her about a
No,
cocktail.
she don't have to pay for anything. Well, she'll probably eat some sweet gifts because she has a sweet tooth. She's hilarious.
Well, I have 6 credits, and I'm like, look, they're talking about 24 more tickets in 2021 to go platinum.
Yeah, but
I won't be able to do that one. Um, yeah, so that's I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Normally we go to the movies during Christmas because we will go to San Antonio, but we will be here this year. Um, so I don't know. Depends on how things are. We may try to go and um,
Yeah,
go to
see,
the
I'm a
movies.
matinee. Like first one that they show 10 o'clock, I'm there and then I'm out.
I
I'm usually
cannot
in the
watch.
theater by myself or with the housekeepers.
I cannot watch a movie late at night, even pre-pandemic. When you talking about going to the movies 8, 9 o'clock at night, I might as well take me a blanket and a pillow,
Mm, I
unless
mean,
not
then I
unless
found
it's
out
a
about
really good
Movie
movie.
Grill. They demolished it. I was like, oh,
Oh,
where am I going to get my
one over there
margaritas
by
and get a
you,
movie? Yeah,
it
because
was
I
in a
was like
bad
planning on
location too.
watching West Side Story over there. And I looked it up, closed indefinitely. It was demolished. I was like, when did this happen?
Oh wow, I used to go to that one every once in a while.
Yeah, I had my mouth all set for a margarita and nachos. I was gonna watch West Side Story down the street. I was
Yeah,
ready, and then I was like, I gotta go to the regular theater.
I was thinking about the West
So
Side Story, but I told my wife I don't know. I kind of like the original.
I do too, but I think of all the remakes they're making, I think this is one of the ones they can, just like Hairspray, like is pretty consistent. You know what I mean? Like I don't think you can be disappointed with it.
Okay,
Same songs, same vibe. So I think this one's gonna be all right. I'm here for it.
I might go see it. I don't know, um, but I did enjoy the original. I actually seen that in school.
Listen, I
Um,
watched the original so many times it's not even funny.
and
So
now we did uh, rent Respect. Well, yeah, end up renting it on Amazon Prime or something. Um, have you seen that yet?
the what?
Respect with Jennifer
No.
Hudson.
You know what? So we were talking about that too at work. We haven't heard any reviews of anyone who actually watched that movie.
It was actually good. It was
Like,
good.
like I heard one review, and it was mixed because they didn't like how they portrayed her or something. I don't know.
Well, that's with any
Uh,
movie. You don't know what's true, what's not. Um,
uh, No, I think they were saying that they focused too much on something, but I can't remember what it was. It was something, but after that, I just had no interest. Well, I never really had an interest, truth be told. It wasn't something I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go see.
now I'm gonna ask you this before we close out. Did you see Stephanie Mill and Shaka
Listen,
versus?
listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. When I tell you Shaka was literally singing from the gut, I was like, is she okay? I was like, oh, is that what they mean from singing from the gut? I couldn't even finish watching it. Like
I,
she
I
was
was,
literally giving from the gut. And I was like at work laughing because I forgot that it was on. Like I got a notification. I was like, oh, that's why I was getting all those verses notifications. So I watched it on YouTube and forgot to go back to it. But I sent it to my sister. I was like, girl, Shaka was literally singing from the gut. I mean, the
I'm with
songs were still good, but like even at one point, I think she started laughing because she was just doing it just for the sake of doing it.
And a couple of times Stephanie Miller had to hold her up
Like,
when they first came out. Then they came
yeah,
out to change her shoes. I When I first started looking, I said,
she looks
"Did
like
she
she's always
relapse?"
partaking in something.
I said, "Did she relapse?"
Oh,
Because
was she recovered? Because every
allegedly,
I mean, I didn't like. 'Cause listen, she was on. What was it? Watch What Happens with Andy Cohen and my gay bestie Adam Lambert, and she was like blitzed, and you could see that Andy Cohen and Adam were like kind of getting annoyed with it because like she wasn't even like they'd ask her a question. It's like, we asked you a straightforward question. You talking about trees and bees and then she kept talking over people, and they're like, "What are you talking about, lady? What is in that glass?"
Cause as soon as they came out, I said, I hope she's not lit.
Like, but when she hit that, and she was like, and then she started, and I was like,
Started
she can't
laughing.
even
I
take
said,
herself serious. Like, what? And she just kept doing it, like she couldn't stop. And I was like, I can't be laughing like this at work.
I said,
That mess
Cause
was
I
funny. I
called it.
forgot what song, but it is very entertaining. I recommend y'all watch it. I recommend it. Like, Shaka, I love you. Stephanie, love you. But
Better yet,
that
have you a
was,
drink or two before you watch it.
listen, you won't be disappointed.
Hold
And
on.
I'm gonna go back and finish it because I didn't finish watching it.
I didn't finish watching it either because I was like,
Because when she started laughing after she was, is she dying? Is she having IBS? What's going on, Shaka? And she just walking around.
hold on. You are listening to Speak On It with Who You With, Curtdog and Miss Risky. Um, Man, Anchor, y'all need to catch us live on the show. Y'all can check us out on YouTube. Speak On It with Who You With, Curtdog. And the only thing I can say, Anchor, is go to YouTube, subscribe, check us out live. Until next time, peace. All right, I had to close that Anchor. I didn't want to start up another
Yeah.
episode on that. But I seen that as soon as I started watching, I told my wife and I'm calling, I said, baby, I'm watching this Stephanie Mill and Shaka. I think Shaka is allegedly high or something is going on. But Stephanie,
She held her own. Stephanie, like
Stephanie was singing.
Stephanie was on it.
I've always liked Stephanie. If I wasn't married, Stephanie, you could holler at me. Yeah, but I'm married, so don't worry about it. But Stephanie, she did her thing. I've always loved Stephanie,
I'm
and
trying to see if I can find that part. Sound like a dead cat in this clip. No, because I was like, I didn't go that far in. Let me see. If I can find it,
I
I'll
think
play
it
it.
was on her first or second song.
Hilarious. Yeah, because
Then she
I
just
wasn't
sat
too
down
far
in the
in.
chair. She just sat down in the chair when she's. I said, Lord.
I don't know if this is the part. Shaka, I still love you though. But
I do
like I had
too,
to
but
put that because she was like, But yeah, there was another part where she sang, and she was like literally. uh, so
but the
watch it.
thing
It's on
is,
YouTube.
though, the
Shaka
thing is,
Khan
Miss
versus
Risky,
Stephanie Mills.
listening to that,
8 minutes
I'm
in.
like, I'm like, can you imagine going back? Okay, say for instance, you go out one night, then the next day you realize somebody videotape you and they show you the videotape of how you was acting. You're gonna be like,
Like she's hit or miss on that part. Like she was getting it. She found the notes, and then she gave up. She's like, I'm
Uh,
old. I'm retired. That's what you get.
from my understanding, I don't
See, what
think
had
we
happened was,
I don't think we have to be worried about being flagged on this for the simple fact you can't understand who it was in the first place.
it was that cat being breastfed, screaming for help. Oh, see, you talk about I'm taking you to hell.
While you filing your
I'll be there with
fingernails,
my margarita. I'll be waiting with
while you
our black and
filing
white television, one channel, and it's all in Spanish.
while you filing your fingernails.
No, I know.
So,
It's like,
while you filing your fingernails, I'm like, what the hell?
well, I ripped off my thumbnail. It's like it's disturbing me.
Hey, I
So
feel you. Sometimes you got to get it while you can, but try
yeah,
not to
hopefully it
file
stays in
close to
there
your microphone. Try
right
not to
at the meat.
get a clipper and cut it, but it won't pull
No, it's not
the
ready
little
yet.
piece of skin out. So,
Not ready yet. It needs to grow out a little bit more.
yeah, yeah, that. Ooh. But Stephanie, I would love to see
She's
her
on
in
it.
concert.
Yeah.
I've always loved Stephanie Mill. I'm like, hey, as far as I can remember, when I heard her sing, I'm like, hey, I love it.
Yeah. My
She blessed the
favorite
child.
is like Home. That's with her rendition of
Oh
Home. That's my fave.
man,
All time favorite.
woo! And then when she get deep into it, kind of had that church bit to it, I'll
Hmm.
be like, oh,
And then
mhm.
Comfort of a Man is a good song. And
I used to
she's
change the
got some good
words.
hits.
Oh yeah, I used to change the word.
Of
I
course she did.
need, I need a comfort of a woman. Back in
Yeah,
the
it doesn't have the
days,
same ring to it.
uh,
You know,
that's
you
all right.
sing the
I,
full lyrics, belting it out. Don't be
I,
scared.
I wasn't
It's
finna say
on.
nothing
Listen,
about no man.
name Delicious. When I, when I look like calling another man delicious. That's a nod back
No,
to Cedric the Entertainer. On
yeah,
that note,
I'm not gonna call you no delicious. Why a grown ass man want to call another grown ass man delicious for?
delicious.
I met Cedric years ago. Uh, I guess when he was on the Steve Harvey show. Um, yeah, I know it's coming. We finna get ready in. I already know. Just real quick. Met him. We was at the casino. Me and my brother and I was at the casino playing blackjack, and he come walking through. He did a comedy show in Streetport, and he come through with his big brim talking about. I'm like, "What's up, sir?" He like, "Nothing much, man. Just chilling, hanging out. Gonna go to this after party at somebody's house, somebody's house in Streetport." So I was like, "All right," he said, "You gotta come on down here and get some of this money like us." He's like, "Yeah." But he was cool. He was down there. So shout out to Cedric the Entertainer. Um, but Miss Risky, let the people know where they
Huh?
can, where they can find where they can
Not in
find
them
you.
streets because they got on Marion out there giving people viruses. And people feeding cats from their boobies, so I'm be in a house.
I'm
But
still
no,
I'm still trying to figure out how that worked out for her.
I mean, apparently it didn't because the
Okay,
cat was fighting her.
did the woman just recently have kids?
It didn't say anything about that. Like again,
She
the
went
cat was
dried
fighting
up.
her, so clearly it was a mature cat that didn't need suckling on boobies. So
She went
anyway,
dried up. Then I came up missing one.
it doesn't even matter the status. Is a cat that didn't even need to be fed.
I think the woman was doing it for her own personal needs. But
So like right there. But anyway, RSKEE. I'm all on Instagram. I live on there. I did a few TikToks. Go check it out. RSKEE dot com. And then RSKEE at yahoo.com if you want to send me a message, any stories, history for next year that you want to research and get on that. And it's Christmas time, and it gets cold, and since we're in Texas, we don't know if we're gonna have electricity during the harsh winters. A few shekels, you can help support us, Texans.
exactly. Because it was almost 80 degrees today.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, it felt good. So and also if you want to bless Miss Risky pocketbook, you can cash out. Just go on cash app a little bit. A little bit.
I can't even hear a word you're saying.
I said if you would like to bless Miss Risky pocketbooks, you could go ahead and cash app it. No amount is too small and none is definitely too big. So go ahead and bless her, and I'm sure all the proceeds will go to a good cause. But other than that, you can find me on all social media. You can be better to send me a message. I will respond quicker. If you put some on the page, I may or may not see it. I've been hanging out on TikTok quite a bit, so um, you can send me a message on there. I think I almost have 500 followers now on TikTok. We got to get to 1,000. We get to 1,000. We'll start including TikTok on the shows, live shows. So yeah, come on, follow the TikTok. Um, but other than that, we, Miss Risky and I both appreciate everybody that tuned in. We laugh, we joke, we talk serious on this show, but we also talk truth. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next week with Miss Risky, next Thursday, we'll have we'll have Miss Dion Simmons on the show. A licensed counselor. She's been on the show before. So definitely tune in next week. A couple of subjects we're going to talk about: grief, dealing with the pandemic, the stress behind it, and also we're going to hit on um, malicious parent syndrome a little bit. So we're going to hit on a lot of topics. If it's something you want us to talk about, definitely tune in, call in, ask your questions about counseling. Ask your questions. This is to help y'all, not only just us, but to help y'all also. So until next week, we love each and every one of you. And I will be back on, my goal is Monday night. And then, because it seems like I'm on Tuesdays and Thursday mostly when I had the most free time. So, but I'm trying to cooperate other days. So until then, we love each and every one of you. Peace.